Hi, and welcome. I'm glad that you decided to check out Algebra 2 with Virtual High School and consider us for your educational needs. So basically, what's Algebra 2? Algebra 2 just takes what you learned in Algebra 1, you extend it and you take it further. So you're going to be doing things with functions, with systems of equations, with regular equations, modeling. We'll be using graphing calculators a lot to make models from real world situations. We'll also do a little bit of a review at the start of each module to make sure that you have good concepts for Algebra 1. So why should you study algebra? Basically, any math is just a tool for understanding everything around us, really important in sciences, technologies, um, anything that we do today, believe it or not, for the most part, has math somewhat involved, whether it's a practical application, a business application, technological application, or other applications. And the deal is this, as technology continues to evolve, math needs to evolve with it, and we need people who understand the math in order to create the technology or to edit the technology or make that technology better. A really good example is Google. People don't think about it, we take it for granted, but what it is, it's one very large matrix or system of equations. So using math practically every day with Google. Okay. Why should you do Algebra 2 with a virtual high school? Well, a lot of people use it to get ahead, to open up a block within your school day. Some people recover credit, and some of you move at your own pace. You're just more comfortable in a smaller setting rather than a class of 30, and you'll feel like you want to get a little bit more one-on-one instruction with your instructor. Okay. What are you going to learn? These are all of the different topics that we're going to learn. They're modules. We have right now have 10. SOLs are changing a little bit, so I didn't want to put modules down because we might have to change what we're doing okay, as soon as those new SOLs are out. How are you going to learn with virtual high school? Well, I have lessons posted online, or your instructor or virtual high school has lessons posted online. Um, and you've got to do some reading, just like you would kind of a textbook, but you've got examples written out, and the examples actually, besides them being written out like in a textbook, there are videos of your instructor doing those problems so that you can read it and then you can listen to the video. So if you would prefer to read, you've got that. If you're a visual learner, auditory learner, you've got those video examples. And each lessons have these little quick checks or self-checks within them. Okay. We use IXL. Some of you might be familiar with that from face-to-face school. Basically, they're online interactive lessons, and they kind of force you to master the concept. Okay. As you master it, the subject matter gets a little bit harder until you can ensure that you've mastered that. We have discussion boards where you're communicating about math with other people in the classroom. And then we have live lessons where your instructor is online twice a week during the fall and spring, or every day during the summer, presenting that material, maybe in a different manner, maybe with games, that kind of thing. What are your assignments? Well, you've got lessons to do every day. There are some practice problems within those assignments or at the end of those assignments that are basically up to you to complete and check your answers. Okay. Those are not graded. But if you're having trouble with them, you need to be in contact with your instructor and so that they can help. But the graded assignments are going to be those IXLs. You're going to have quizzes, at least one for every module, sometimes two per module. Okay. We're going to have tests at the end of each unit. Our quizzes are done on the computer. There are a lot of multiple choice. They're automatically typed into the computer. And then the computer grades it, but then your instructor goes in and grades that for themselves. So they can give you partial credit, or believe it or not, the computer makes errors based on how we type. Then we have tests where you're actually going to print them off and do them like you would do a test in a regular classroom, showing all of your work. Okay, so this is not a way to bypass doing your work, and you would have to upload that for your instructor to grade. We have discussions each week or every other week during the fall and spring, and every week during the summer. And lastly, we have some projects. We're looking at doing quarterly projects just so you can show a different way of learning the topic, or you can show your instructor a different way. What does our course look like? Our courses all are laid out exactly the same. As you can see along the top, there are menus where your assessments are going to be found, your tests, your quizzes. There's resources, which is actually where your lessons are. Okay, and there are checklists that tell you this is, hey, this is what's due today. Okay, so I guess we can zoom in and look at that a little bit better. And then we've got a calendar, and we've got news items. If you're looking at this, this was actually done a couple days ago from when I videoed this, and it has, you know, the assignments for the week. So there are lots of different ways that you can make sure you're getting your assignments done. Okay. So what do you need to be successful in Algebra 2? Besides a good work ethic and all that kind of stuff, physically, you're going to need a graphing calculator. Whether you use a Texas Instrument or a Casio, there are videos that are going to help you do that, and I touch on the calculator stuff a lot during the live lessons. You're going to need a printer to print out those tests that at the end of each module. In a scanner, it doesn't actually have to be a physical scanner. You can take pictures with your cell phone. These are just some actual apps too that can be used to scan documents that you can then upload into the course. So is this course for you? Questions that you need to ask yourself are, am I an independent learner? Okay, can I sit down? Can I read through this? Can I understand it? If I can't, or if you can't, are you not afraid to ask for help? Because communication within this course, and for that matter, any virtual course, is key to essential learning and understanding. We can't see you. You need to let us know when you need help. Okay, are you able to set aside time each day? You definitely need dedicated time to sit aside and to study, do the lessons, that kind of thing. And are you good with time management? Okay. There are due dates, and they're daily due dates, as opposed to some of the other virtual classes with us that you might have taken where there's weekly due dates. With mathematics, there's things that you have to do every day. You have a lesson to do every day. You have a quiz due every couple days. You have a test due at the end of each unit. So you have to be good at checking your time management and make sure things are done on time. While online learning is flexible, we only have a limited amount of time to get things done. And before you take also our final exams, our midterms, and any standardized testing, if you're in Virginia, the standards of learning. So we need to make the course so that it's completed by the time those things are done. So while it's flexible, you need to be able to pace yourself and follow those daily due dates. You can always work ahead, but not behind. Okay. So if all of these things sound good to you, we're looking forward to having you work with us in the virtual high school. Thanks for sticking in there and listening to what we have to say.